Good morning. Today I've come to a quiet spot outside of the house to make my grocery shopping list, and I thought I would share with you all the ways that I save money and shop smart for my weekly grocery shopping trip. I'm never really 100% alone by myself, am I, on this farm? No, there's so many animals, right? Yes. All right, so my budget is $500 a month. I do $100 per person per month, and that includes groceries, toiletries, household items, shampoos, conditioners, and all of that also. We also buy meats in bulk, so I typically try to back that up to stay around $100 a week for my shopping trip. Now, I will sometimes pick up some items for like my monthly shopping when items are on sale, so I kind of fluctuate and I use that $400 to $500 a month kind of loosely, to where one week I might spend a little bit more and one week I might spend a little bit less. So here's the steps that I take to do my weekly grocery shopping. So I start off with planning my schedule for the week. So I look at our calendar and I see how many days I'm going to need dinner, what nights I need quick dinners, what nights we're not going to be here, and if there's any nights that we are going to eat out. Then I go through my pantry and my refrigerator and my stockpile for things and make a list of the things that I have on hand, because this might spur any dinners that could come up with items that I'm already using. Sometimes there's meals from before where I didn't use up all of a certain sauce or a dressing, or there's leftovers, or there's things that I have on hand that I can use up, and that's going to end up saving me money. So I always try to use up what's in my pantry and what's in my refrigerator. So I take my notepad and I go through and I write it down, because I don't typically remember what I've got just off the top of my head. So I just take my notepad before I even get started on the things that I know that I need. I start off with what I have. So I might go through and in the refrigerator I write down shredded cheese or mozzarella cheese or pizza sauce or Italian dressing, or then I'll go to the pantry. Then I'll write down, okay, well, I have potatoes left over. I have some rice on hand. I've got a stuffing mix on hand. I've got, anything that you've got that you can use up. Now, what I don't write down is things like condiments that I use all of the time, or spices that I know that I have on hand and I just constantly keep those on hand, like ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise and things like that. Those are things that I constantly keep, so I'm not trying to use through those things. It's those random things that are taking up the space in my cabinets and that can go bad. So I also look in my freezer for what I have on hand, because there's a couple things that I pick up from week to week that I stick into my freezer. So if there are meats that are on sale at a good price, I might get an entire month's worth of meat that's on sale. So if chicken is at $1.99 a pound, which typically I can get chicken at $1.99 a pound, so I don't try to stock up on that and take up a lot of space. But things like pork loins, when they go to 99 cents a pound, that's a pretty good price, and that's a big money saver for me. So I might go and get 4 of those and have that and stick that into my freezer. Or I might get chicken thighs if they've gone down to like 59 cents a pound, or steaks and things like that. So we actually buy a quarter of a cow, and we raise our own pork here, so I know that my freezer is full of that stuff. So I know kind of what I have on hand there. Another way to save on meats is I go, when I'm doing my shopping trips and if I'm going into the store, I will stock up on manager special items. So these are things that are getting closer to their sell-by date. They're not expired, they're just getting close. Or a manager, they might come through and they'll choose a couple items and they'll mark it down pretty steeply, and it'll have a little yellow tag, and it'll tell you the price. So I will usually kind of look through that once I get to the store. That's another way to save. So that might be something that's not on my list, but I'm going to go ahead and grab it for the weeks ahead so that I know that I can save in the coming weeks. The other thing that I'm making a list of is the stuff that I'm growing that's in my garden. So You know, if I know I'm going to have peppers coming in that week, or tomatoes or cucumbers, I'm planning my list also around things like that because I grow it, and that's a big money saver for me. All right, so the next thing that I do is I grab my store sale ads. And so we have a couple different options for stores that I could shop at. So I have Kroger, which actually is a little bit further away, so I usually only go there if there's really good deals and lots of meal making items that where I can save. There's Food Lion and there's Walmart. So I typically look at what's on sale at Food Lion and Kroger, and I look at their sale ad. I pull it up on my phone. You can do this through their apps. And I look at what's on sale for that week, and I start writing down some of the things that I know that I will use, or the best deals that I can go and make meals out of. So when you're looking at a sale ad, usually the stuff on the first page is your best deals. And so the way they market it is, those are the things that are going to get you into that store. So it's going to be the deepest discounts. So if I'm looking at this week's Kroger ad, then I see that there is boneless top sirloin steak on sale for $4.99 a pound. That's pretty good. There's chicken breast for $1.99 a pound. There is fresh boneless pork loin for $1.49 a pound. So I'm making note of these meats that are on sale, and then I do my fruits and my vegetables that are on sale. And I just scroll through and I see the items, like our snack items that we would use. And I'm making note. I'm adding them to my list and what store they're on sale at, so that I know. And then I'll go to Food Lion's app and look up theirs and just kind of browse through and see which one has the better deals of stuff that I would rather use. I don't go to both stores. I don't go to all three stores, you know, Walmart or anything like that. I'm just picking which store I would shop at this week. And if you have a typical store that you go to, I mean, just do that one and see what's on sale. I'm going to make my meal plan around what is on sale, and that is one of the biggest ways that I save money, between the sales and what I have on hand. I typically try to make my dinners between $5 and $6 a meal. So a meal, not per person, $5 and $6. So I do that by doing this sale ad. So I can also look at these sales, and I look at any store promotions. So one thing that Kroger does is they do like buy 5, save $5. And it's not of the same item, it's of the items that are on sale. So you might have goldfish that are part of this, you might have cookies that are part of this, you might have breads that are part of this, and so you can get 3 of these, 3 of these, 3 of these, and 1 of these. As long as you have the 10 items, then you'll save, sometimes they do 10, buy 10, save 10, buy 5, save 5. So just look at what's on sale. So this week they are doing the buy 5 and save $5 total. So each item is an extra $1 off. So you'll find things like there's French fries on a really good sale. And so I would write that down. There is a bag, a 10-pound bag of potatoes, russet baking potatoes, for $2.99. That is a really good price because typically I'm paying $2.99 for a 5-pound bag. So I will grab a bag of those and make my meals around that. We can make French fries, we can make mashed potatoes, I can chop it and do a roasted vegetable medley. And it doesn't have to all be this week. Potatoes last for a really long time if you take them out of the bag. So I just go through each of these and I'm writing these things down that I know are on really good sale and I know that I can use in some recipes. So now I have my list and I have what I have and what's on sale. So I go through and I look at everything and I say, okay, I might have the baking potatoes, I've got a pork loin, I've got some zucchini coming in from the garden. So I know that I can have a roasted pork loin and baked potato and some zucchini one night for dinner. So I'm going to go ahead, write down my actual meal for that, and then start making my grocery list from there. What do I need? Well, I need that pork loin and I need the bag of potatoes. All right, so now I've got a 10-pound bag of potatoes. What else can I do? Well, one night maybe we can do hamburger. I've got hamburger down in my freezer. So let me grab a bag of buns and I can use that bag of potatoes to make French fries or some roasted potatoes. And I can do that with the hamburgers. Okay, there's my second meal. And so then I'm going through and I'm saying, okay, well, I've got some mozzarella cheese and I still have a jar of pizza sauce that I need to use up, okay? So sometimes we will do pizzadillas for lunch, or I can make pizzas for dinner. So I just start going through and I'm crossing off the things that I'm using from what I have on hand and what's on sale and making my grocery list that way. That is going to be a huge money saver for you. If there's nothing that pops into your head for some of the stuff that you need, you can always go to Pinterest. You can go to craftrecipes.com, and I also go to allrecipes.com, or sometimes I just really put it into the Google search feature and I say, okay, recipes for cheddar cheese. You know, let's say you have a lot of that on hand, or recipes that use rice or vegetables that you have left over from last week. You want to make sure to use those up first. Go type that in, look for the recipes that have that, and they have, especially in the All Recipes and the craftrecipes.com, it'll have, if you put in the search feature, recipes that use squash, then it'll pop up with all the recipes that use those items, and you can even put multiple items in and it'll pop those up too, especially on the All Recipes website. If there's recipes that I really like, I will save them either to the Pinterest board or I will print them out, and you can keep a recipe binder or a stack of recipes of things that you really liked that use items that you typically have on hand. That way you always know what that recipe was and you have it again and you can easily find it. The last thing that I do is one of the biggest things. I either plan out some meals that I can put into the freezer or pick up things for an oops night. An oops night like, oh, I forgot to cook dinner. Oh, I forgot to thaw that meat out. Or oops, we had to go to the doctor unexpectedly today and I didn't have time to prep dinner. I know that I need to have some easy things in my freezer that can go straight from the freezer into the oven or into the pan that's ready to go. Things like, you know, spaghetti is really easy. I can easily put some hamburger meat and a jar of sauce and some noodles. I know I have everything on hand. Frozen pizzas, chicken nuggets, or, you know, just something super easy and simple. I always keep a couple of those type things from week to week in my freezer so that I know that I have them. I don't put them into my meal plan, but they're like my extras, my oopsie. So that is how I make my weekly shopping list and save the most amount of money by making a plan. Typically, on a normal week, we are eating here most of the time, so I usually will plan about 5 meals, and then I will have 2 nights where we eat leftovers, or we might do sandwiches or things like that. So, and I typically try to stay each meal around $5 to $6. So when I'm looking at that sale ad, if I'm looking at the meat or the items and I know that I can do the entire meal between $5 and $6, then I know that's an item that can go on my grocery shopping list for the week. I hope this helps you save a ton of money at the grocery store, and I'll see you soon.